My name is Ben Ford. I have a PhD in anthropology and nautical archaeology, and I'm a distinguished university professor of anthropology at Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
Hi, I'm Jessie Halligan, and I have a PhD in anthropology from Texas A&M University, and I am an associate professor in the Department of Anthropology at Texas A&M University and the associate director of the Center for the Study of the First Americans.
I'm David George Shango. Hawaii D is my native name. I have a bachelor's in anthropology from St. Lawrence University. I currently am the Tribal Historic Preservation Officer within the Seneca Nation. So I'm the officer who is deputized to deal with all matters dealing with preservation regarding the Seneca Nation and any ancestral lands within our boundaries.
We are doing a field school in Lake Erie, just north of Erie, Pennsylvania, on a portion of the lake that was land until a few thousand years ago.
The Erie, Pennsylvania area provides a really excellent place to train students in underwater cultural resource management because it has shipwrecks as well as potentially submerged landscapes in a variety of different depths from 70 or 80 feet up to about 15 feet of water. And so there's a lot of opportunity for marine remote sensing, for scuba diving on real sites so that you can get experience doing this type of work. The other advantage that it has is that it's a somewhat challenging environment. It's safe, but it is somewhat cold and somewhat dark water, which it provides a more realistic experience for anyone who thinks that they would like to do this kind of work for a profession, as well as do some real research that can contribute to our understanding of the past.
At this field school, because we are going to cover how to do underwater archaeology, which includes the parts on land, the parts of scuba diving, the parts of remote sensing, almost every day will be a little different than the day before.
It's incredibly experiential and collaborative, and that they'll be working with the professors and the instructors as well as each other to build these skills together as a group. And our goal is that they come away as a cohort, that as they see each other at meetings 5, 10, 20 years into the future, that they're all building careers based on these experiences. And so we're going to put as much into the weeks of the field school as we can so that they have those experiences to build on.
Not everything will be in English, and when you deal with us, and so part of my job, I think, is not only to educate them about the law and the culture, but a little language too, and what is appropriate. We're talking about on Saturday going to the powwow, and so I'm going to teach them powwow etiquette.
The primary goal of the field school is to train students to do underwater archaeology, and specifically to do sort of a cultural resource management approach to underwater archaeology that involves a lot of survey and understanding sort of the legal frameworks within which archaeology functions. As part of this, they will earn a research diver certification that is applicable across multiple scientific underwater fields, but it helps them develop their skills. They come in with diving skills, and this will help them develop their ability to do science underwater. And it's also part of the larger field school where they will get additional training on recording sites underwater, and also, very importantly, to do side scan sonar and sub-bottom profiler surveys, because those are two of the major tools that get used in cultural resource management. They also have the ability and the advantage of working with indigenous colleagues, because increasingly it's a very, very important part. It's always been important, but it's starting to be recognized more and more in the field of archaeology that you need to consult with your indigenous colleagues to understand how the past functioned. So training the students is the primary driver, but they also have the advantage of working on real research. We're asking real questions and trying to find real answers about how did people use this landscape before the lakes came up. And this is something that not everyone thinks about as important until it sets in that there's large swaths of what is now the Great Lakes that were completely exposed, and humans were using them as dry land and living on them. And to understand that will help us understand the human history of North America.
Discover your future in the past, offering world-class field schools across the world. Join us today at Anthropocene Research Center.